And welcome back to Sports on Tap. I'm Rob Troutman. We have Ed Dick, Sean Duffy, and Josh Jeffy is out on assignment. We're live from Z's Cream and Bean. If you'd like to check us out on social media, it's at SOT Podcasts on Twitter. We're also on Facebook. Our YouTube page actually archives all these great interviews from the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League from tonight and past. It'll also be on the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League website, which we'll give you later on the show. I believe it's gchshl.net. And also shutout.com has great stuff. And our next guest is actually the guy in charge of shutout.com. Am I right?
I'm not in charge of it. Nate Schaefer.
So you have somebody else in charge.
He's been with Heights Hockey for 22 years.
Wow.
He's our bench manager. He's been with the team. He's a man behind the scenes. He actually started shutout.com in 96, and he's been running it ever since, and this
website is fantastic.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, without further ado, he's in his 11th season at Cleveland Heights as head coach. But you have all kinds of awards that I saw on your page that you can go through. It'll probably take us a whole show just to go through your awards. But head coach of the Cleveland Heights Tigers hockey team, Eddie Babcock, is here. And Coach, thanks for taking time to join us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate this. This is great.
You drove a decent amount to come here tonight, and you listened to the other coaches, and you even said you've coached some of the coaches in your league. What's that like?
Well, what were we saying? I'm the seasoned vet, I guess.
Yeah, you're seasoned.
I'm the seasoned, not old.
I like to call him a wily veteran.
Wily vet. No, it's great. It's high school hockey it's a wonderful experience, and it stays with you for a long time. And a lot of guys, including myself, they want to give back, and no other way to do it than coach. And it doesn't surprise me to see guys come back and coach, and it's great, and it's a lot of fun, and you make friendships forever, and you build bonds with teams, and it's good.
I mean, are there any guys that you coach that you might have a rivalry with right now at Cleveland Heights that you
I would think all of them.
Yeah, well, maybe.
That I've coached?
Yeah.
Not so much.
That you circle out on the calendar like, I cannot let him win this game. he had my number last year, but this year, I want to make a different story. None?
Not so much.
Okay.
Gordy over at Solon, I coached him on a team, like a pre-post team, and it's his first year at Solon, and they already beat us this year, so so maybe I guess the next time we play them, maybe I'll circle it. But other than that, no, it's just good to see guys giving back and going back and coaching.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your season right now. Overall, you're 8-10. In the league, you're 2-4. Non-league, 6-6 on the year. What's kind of stuck out to you so far early on in this season?
The competition we're playing is tough for us, and we're about what we expected to be at, and we're very young. I have one senior, 7 freshmen, and
wow.
Blood there. Yeah, growing pains. But being in the Red South. And I like to do crossovers with the North. I like to play the tough teams. Mm-hmm. That's how you get better. That's how the kids learn. You get exposed, and you work on it, and that's what's happening this year. So, it's about what we expected. So, 2-4 in the league. We've played some really good teams so far, and some of our non-league games in the tournaments, we played teams that are either, in the Red North, or they're at that level. Mm-hmm. So, either we come up short or we give those teams a good game. As long as we played and competed with them as coaches, me and Jeremy Holmes, he's the assistant coach. He's been with me for years. As long as we compete, that's we take positives out of that. And if you get the W, that's great. But competing right now with this group is what we want to do.
How's the development been of some of those younger players and maybe some of the less experienced players as the season gone on? How's the development going? Is it going to where you want it to be, or you still got some time?
Of course, it's not, because I'm a perfectionist, I guess. But they are learning. I mean, a lot of them played Bantams last year, and most of them played at a mid to low level Bantam. So they get thrown into the fire in high school playing against 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds. It's going to be a learning curve, especially with the more physical aspect of the game, and it's faster. So it's been tough to try to develop some of these young kids, their fundamentals, and throw a system at them, and the physical aspect of hockey at high school level. So it's a lot to take in, and it's what we expected so far. So.
Has there been anybody on your squad this year that's you maybe didn't have a lot of high hopes for that's kind of surprised you going through the season so far?
Our goaltender,
Okay.
Danny Lewis. He's a junior. He's been the backup goalie for 2 years to this kid Trent Swain. We graduated last year, and he's one of the best goalies in the state. And Danny had the good opportunity to, sit behind and watch and learn a lot from Trent. Mm-hmm. And Danny got thrown in the fire this year, first time as a starter, and he's absolutely overexceeded our expectations so far this year. He's kept us in a lot of our games. As a coach, you blame yourself on losses. You blame what you feel you did wrong. I never put the blame on the players. And a lot of goalies are hard on themselves. And he would think, you would think, oh, he's a new goalie. That's probably why you lost that game. Absolutely not. That's not why we lost that game. We lost that game because of other factors. And you thought you'd have that mentality with Danny this year. But no, Danny's been in every game. He's kept us strong as a first-year starter. And it's been going well with him.
Yeah, he's got over in league play, saving over 90% of the shots.
Oh, it's
wow,
it's incredible.
That's
yeah.
fantastic. I mean, in league play, he's faced 225 shots.
Yeah,
yeah.
Saved over 200 of them. I mean, that's an incredible percentage.
Yeah,
and certainly gives your team that extra boost
yeah.
or that almost insurance to
yes.
know that
yeah.
our goalie's got our back. We can focus on other what else we need to do.
Especially in the red division, those are quality shots. Those are good looks. Some of the players that we see in the red, their skill level's a little higher. Not a lot higher, but a little higher than what you see in the white and the blue. So he's seen a lot of good quality shots. And as a first-year starter, to be able to hang with that, it's been great. It's been good.
So have you had to change anything with your game plan going into this year, knowing you had 7 freshmen and that they might not catch on to things as quick, or you want to slow down the game for them down a little bit? So offensively, let's just switch things up so they understand where they need to be. So, because when you're on the ice, if you're trying to get to a position instead of just playing naturally, obviously you're going to probably have a few issues there.
For the culture of the team, for the most part, it's business as usual, where we approach the season the same. But you're right, absolutely. With this young group, we had to approach a different kind of forecheck, a different kind of defensive zone, because we knew we were going to have trouble getting the puck out of the zone against some of these better teams, in the Red North and in the Red South. And I thought that they've held their own for the most part. But in that aspect, we've had to change a little bit, especially how we attack the net, too. Our first line, that percentage-wise, has majority of the points. Mm-hmm. And 2 of those guys were on the third line last year, and now they're on the first line the next year. And that aspect, to have them change their game to go from not playing much to playing every other shift, we had to, they had to work on stamina. They had to work on their fundamentals, knowing they're going to be on the ice a lot more this year. So we had to work with them to get that change. So there's been a little bit of both.
Now,
on both sides.
How has your senior really taken on the captain role? Being the only senior, I'm sure that's tough, but you probably have a lot of the younger kids looking to him for advice and trying to make them understand certain things. How's that?
Calvin Gray, he's our assistant captain as a senior. He's one of our defensemen. He's the seasoned vet on the blue line, and he's been helping some of these young freshmen that are on defense, and he's been doing a good job with that. But our junior class, Owen Lang is our captain, and he's leading the team in points. And he's got some good leadership skills that he mostly takes in that role. That's more of his personality, as opposed Calvin's more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, and he'll work just with his defensemen, where Owen's working with everybody. Okay. So it's been a good dynamic with those two.
Yeah, you guys are right on the outs right now. Looking at the points, you guys are on the outs. We're on the cusp of qualifying for Barron Cup 1, and you got some you got some tough competition coming up. You got the you got a bunch of non-league stuff coming up with the NDCL Invitational.
Yeah, the NDCL tournament. That's always good. We've been pretty successful in that tournament the last few years, and it's a great break to have. You got winter break with our tournament, and I bring in tough teams, so we play really tough competition. Then we'll play 1 or 2 league games, then go into NDCL, and it's a chance to play everybody on the squad instead of go 1 line, 2 line heavy. You play everybody, play backup goalies, you play everybody, and it's always good timing. But like you were saying, it's Barron Cup or right there with the points. We're gonna have to pull out a lot of W's near the end of the season if we want to qualify for sure.
One of the questions I always ask for a team that's as young as your team is it hard to kind of, after tough losses and things like that, especially because they're so young, to kind of refocus and say, okay, we can get the next one? Or you mentioned that the mentality your coaching staff has of wanting to see them compete. Is that the main kind of mantra you're telling them is, I want to see you compete. The result is kind of what it is. No matter what happens, I want to see, going out there and competing.
Well, obviously, we want to be successful.
Right.
We want to win the game, and but to see them compete at this level, we know it's challenging.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be positive for the most part, because there's times they're frustrated because like sometimes their physical abilities just can't do it, and that's why it's a learning process. That's why there's these growing pains we talk about, and but they competed. We had a 3-1 loss to North Olmsted the other night. Midview was 4-1. We ran into Ryan Godin, the goalie over at North Olmsted. He's incredible. Mm-hmm. It's like we were in those games. They competed. They did well. We just ran into an awesome goalie.
Yeah.
North Olmsted, the top point getter in our league on that team. And Midview's a very competitive team, and they competed in that. They had the freshmen had great shifts in that game. We saw a lot of positives.
Mm-hmm.
So you build from game to game. You keep it positive, and then next year when they're sophomores, then you can kind of start taking the knife a little bit and say, okay, you've been there.
Yeah.
Let's start. Let's cut back on those mistakes that shouldn't be happening.
Right.
But like we always say, you're going to make mistakes. Well, let's minimize them, and we'll kind of give them a pass this year. But for the most part, it's been fun.
Being that you are the seasoned coach that you are, I like to ask this question of other seasoned coaches in other sports than when we talk to other sports. But since you started coaching, you've been the head coach at Cleveland Heights for 11 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then coaching before that.
Yeah, this might be 15 or 16 overall. I'm not sure.
How has coaching changed for you? Maybe when you were first a head coach to where you're at now.
It's changed dramatically. Actually, I used to kind of look at the game a little differently. I was more of a hothead. I felt I had to be a drill sergeant and a dictator in the sense, and I've I guess calmed down. And I've kind of looked at the whole picture, looked at the team, and I've broken the season up in the different sections. And you work one part of the season at a time, where I kind of was overwhelmed at first. Mm-hmm. It's the Heights tournament's almost coming up, but it's Thanksgiving, and it's like 4 weeks away. And now we go week by week. I take it week by week. I slow it down. I've taken my practice approaches a little differently. A lot more. I like to work on a lot of skills, and as the week moves on, we'll get more into the system work. So you're not burning them out at the beginning of the week in practice with, running a scrimmage or working on full ice stuff. We kind of break it up. So little things like that I've kind of developed, and I thought it's helped over the years. We had some successful teams in the past, and it seemed to have worked. And Jeremy Holmes, my assistant, it's just the two of us, and we've done a lot to really come up with this culture, if you will, to develop these kids and hopefully have right now we got a young core, and we're going to try to develop and make some noise next year or by the end of this season and years after.
What kind of going off Ed's point, have you noticed anything overall as far as the game itself? We spoke to the Solon head coach, and he mentioned that, one of the things he's noticed over the years is that the hitting, while still there, isn't as prominent
Oh,
because,
not at all.
It's actually become more of a technical or more of a skill game,
Yeah, well,
as opposed to just slamming into the boards and hoping the puck shoots out.
15 years ago, I'd say the majority of hits you see today are penalties. Head contact has become a huge issue, not just hockey. I mean,
Right.
You
Right.
go to the NFL.
The concussions.
Oh, yeah. And head contact, wasn't even a penalty. But when I played 25 years ago, let alone now, you can get a head contact penalty today, and it's you can possibly get a DQ for it. 2-game suspension. So they're cutting back. Some of the old school guys would say the game has gotten soft, quote unquote.
More seasoned guys.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think Gordy said it right. By it's the skill. It's more of a skill game now. I mean, his father, he played in the NHL. I mean, he's around a brain there.
Yeah.
And I mean, the NHL, it's not as physical as it once was, and it's just the way it is. And we've adapted, big time. We've adapted, and I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that USA Hockey got rid of checking at the Bantam level a few years back. And the Bantam levels are middle school. It's right before high school. And I'm sorry, got rid of checking at the Pee Wee level,
Okay.
which is like 6th grade, 5th, 6th grade, you can check. Then 7th and 8th grade is Bantams. So then you have about good 4 years of body checking before you got to high school. Now you only have 2, possibly 1 year of body checking before high school. And it absolutely shows. Absolutely shows. And this year we were told to have a grace period before the season started, a 4-day grace period to work on body checking, to work by the state. State mandated it.
Wow.
Work on taking body checks, giving body checks, because we're starting to see the full group of kids that have gone 1 year maybe of body checking coming into high school.
Yeah.
And with what Brandon was talking about, we get a lot of freshmen. We don't have JV squads. We don't have that can work and play against guys their age and then get worked into the varsity level.
Yeah.
You're varsity or bust, especially with public schools. So you got a 14-year-old with 1 year of body checking under his belt going up against an 18-year-old who's been body checking for 5 years
Right.
with Bantams, 6 years. And
That's just 4 years of growth. And weight.
I've already had a kid with a concussion this year. A freshman had to sit out about 3 weeks because of a concussion. I mean, it's not the kid's fault. I mean, the guy's playing the game right.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
clean hit.
Yeah.
But you're going to start seeing more of this, I think. And I think that's another big reason. You could talk to other coaches. It's my opinion. I mean, I don't know what other coaches would have on it, but I think that's another reason why I think there's not the much hitting.
Right.
There's just not much experience
Right.
now.
Okay.
Because of the USA Hockey getting rid of checking and peewees.
See, you talk about in high school football, you have a period where you're not allowed to hit,
Yeah.
and
The state
hockey says, you know what, learn how to hit the right way.
Learn how to hit the right. Yeah.
for 4 days.
Well, yeah.
Like, which is, that's a good way to. I mean, that's a.
Makes
Is
sense.
it probably the best solution? I don't know. I don't know if it is or not, but
We'll
at least
see.
it gives you, 4 days isn't going to replace
4 years.
potential
How many years?
a potential 4 years, but I guess something's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's a safety issue too.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day. That's what it is. And we worked on it. Did other coaches? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did other coaches probably do 4 days of extra practice? Probably. But
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is, and I think that's. I'm not going to be the old curmudgeon and say that it's soft now, because you go watch some of the Great Lakes League games. You go watch some midget major around here. It's faster, bigger, stronger kids at the same age, and there's a lot of hitting. And there's not penalties you would see at that level that you would see in our league, because it's just faster. Guys can defend themselves. They're just better. They're just more, naturally gifted hockey players. And it's just different from our level to those levels.
Right.
And you have to, make sure safety is the number one issue, and that's probably why there's less hitting.
Are the majority of your hockey players, do they play other sports, or are they mostly hockey year through?
I have a lot of lacrosse, baseball, soccer, cross country,
Wow.
golf.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's quite the
And
spectrum
I mean,
there.
do you yeah, it is really.
Well,
awesome.
you know,
Wide
the
variety.
funny thing is, I'm noticing over a pattern is over all the coaches we talk about in the second sport. A lot of them are saying that they're seeing that correlation that lacrosse players are starting to come over and play hockey.
Yes.
because I would imagine there's some sort of correlation to essentially understanding the game.
Yeah, then they want to run around and hit guys in the spring.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
it.
Well, I wanted to hit guys in the fall, so
Yeah,
that was
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's the games can relate. It's a team sport,
Right.
and I have baseball guys too. So, yeah, but there's a lot of hockey players play lacrosse.
Yeah.
And a lot of hockey players golf.
I mean, do you encourage your players to play other sports? Or do you, I mean,
Yeah,
would
not-
you like
no,
them
yeah.
to focus on just hockey, or do you say, you know what?
I personally I want them to play other sports.
Yeah.
Absolutely, or makes you a better athlete overall. But there's a lot of coaches out there that strictly want to stick to hockey, and that's their thing. Mine is play other sports, and especially with the public schools in our league. You get an overall good experience of high school playing 3 sports
Yeah.
all year round, especially with my group because it keeps their grades on track. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day,
That's true.
Can't play unless
you're
you pass.
student
Yeah.
athletes, and
That's
if
right.
if you're playing sports fall all the way to spring, and you have, it helps you track your grades, especially, and that's
Absolutely.
one of the main reasons why I like them to play all year round. Plus, it makes them a better athlete, and you're more involved in high school. You make more friends, and and it's the whole big high school picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the coaches we talked to a lot from football is actually is the coach I coach for, Coach Benzoni from Brunswick,
Yeah.
and he encourages the same exact thing. And Coach Beal, even before him, said the same thing. For reasons very similar to yours, you maintain competition, and you work different muscle groups too. I mean, football to wrestling is a pretty common one, and even football to basketball. I mean, hockey, you have a wide spectrum of other sports that you're using other muscles, but you're not standing. You're not using the same ones all the time as that you would playing one sport the entire year. So there's definitely the benefits of that. And quite honestly, I wish I would have played something different. My other sport would have been soccer, and it's hard to play soccer and football in the same season.
Yeah, I have quite a few soccer players this year and in the past. That's another game that kind of relates to hockey too, in the same sense as lacrosse does. So the competitive aspects, that's a good way to look at it too. And you can tell lacrosse players on the ice, they get a lot of slashing penalties. And that kid plays lacrosse for sure. What do you mean? What did I do? Because it's legal in lacrosse.
If we were on grass, that would be legal.
Yeah, you can hit him with this club in
Yeah.
lacrosse. Not in hockey, you can't.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of a change there.
Oh, yeah.
We did have a question for you.
Yeah.
And it's online from Adam Clifford Harrison. He says Eddie Babcock is the best hockey coach in Northeast Ohio, but he's always been curious. Can you ask him if he recommends his players to take any Taekwondo or Tai Chi in order to capitalize on flexibility and agility, or is it just business as usual for
Rob,
Coach Babcock?
before we get an answer, that was type Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Okay. Just, I mean, I want to make sure we're correct. I
Yeah,
don't wanna-
I appreciate that.
It's business as usual. Business as usual.
No, what is?
The thing is, actually, we've had yoga in the past with some of our teams.
Hey, you know what? Joe Simon
just said,
put
how about
that-
yoga?
Joe, yes. I coached with Joe. Me and Joe was the head coach at Heights for 2 years, and I coached with him. But we never did yoga together, me and Joe. But we did a couple years later. We had yoga. One of the guys on my team, stepmom, was a yoga instructor, and the kids went to that, and it helped. It definitely helped with some of the stamina issues, but we haven't done it in a while. But as far as Tai Chi and Taekwondos, no, we don't do that.
Would you do yoga if Joe Simon came to instruct and be
Oh,
part
absolutely.
of the class? I mean, I think
Absolutely.
I think the entire league would come. If
Yes.
Joe was instructing,
Yes.
the entire coaches for the league would be there.
Can we make it clear? We're not going to replace that for the draft.
No,
later,
no,
right?
no, we're not.
Still,
No,
okay,
that's
still, as long as we maintain that.
that's fine. No, we're gonna keep it the regular format. I think.
Which is the draft is it's amazing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
How you guys set that up. It's great. The
Well,
draft, it's-
What we were commenting
It is
on
fun.
was
Thank
that
you.
one,
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do
last
very
year
much.
was that players were lobbying for them to be picked
I
via.
know.
Oh, it's
So
fantastic.
And I
you've
think
started something because now it's going to start trickling down over the years. Now it's really going to build and build.
Yeah.
Because when I got back, we got to practice the next day. Why didn't you take me, number 2? Why didn't you take me in the third round, coach? Oh, you took the other guy from the other team. I'm like, I'm playing to win. Our season's over. I don't coach you anymore.
I know what I got with you.
I'm taking that kid.
This kid was available.
Yeah.
that was fun. To have the kind of feedback we had
Yeah.
from that. I mean, we had, I think, 100 and something people listening live, and not
That's great.
all of them
That's great.
communicated on here, but we probably had about 15 guys that were hockey players saying, "Hey, why isn't my coach picking me?
Yeah.
We're already in round 3."
We really
Right.
should assign an intern just to be giving them answers. Like
Seriously.
here's what we
I was
got from
trying
your
to do
coach.
both.
You're not getting picked.
Just have Coach Kelber. Kelber just needs to
Yeah.
manic. He's the one who took the most crap out of everybody. Like,
That's
it was-
true.
Yeah, it's
Ryan was
fantastic.
telling me to take his guys.
Yeah,
He was like, take him next.
yeah.
Take him next.
There was some collusion on that though.
Oh, yeah.
I saw, but
But,
It's a little
it's a
messy.
lot of fun. I think the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League has done a great job.
Oh, unbelievable job. PR with you guys, with the media guide.
The media guide is unbelievable.
Just,
Yeah, it's
just to
fantastic.
get the kids' names out there. I was just talking with Brandon before we got on. Like at my parents' house, there's still stuff in the basement, like a trunk you opened up with old clippings of
Oh, yeah.
old Plain Dealer, and that you can't read it, you can't see it anymore. Now with social media, it's incredible, and Joe and Ryan have absolutely done a great job in promoting our league for sure, and the kids, I mean, they love it because
And
they want to see their name.
yeah.
Yes.
And they have plenty of opportunity to see their name in our league with all the platforms that Joe and Ryan have for them.
And just from the sheer volume of teams, I mean, I think it was something crazy. We were talking that like 36% of the hockey teams in the state of Ohio play in this league. I think it's
There's a lot of
something like that where it's. I mean, that's
a lot of
that's
teams.
fantastic.
It continues
Yeah.
to grow. It seems like
Yeah.
the league.
Yeah.
You keep adding teams,
And then some teams will drop. I
Yeah.
know there's talk of some teams we're losing some teams next year because of numbers, but maybe they'll come back. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Garfield Heights folded a couple years ago, then they came back. So I mean, we can see that happening, and it doesn't surprise. We have a lot of teams in the Cleveland area. I mean, hockey exploded here in the late '90s, early 2000s. So many different teams came out of nowhere, and I see a lot of alumni that from Heights that I played with, and like, oh, how's coach, and who are you playing? And I'm telling them I'm playing these teams. Like, what? They have a hockey team now? I'm like, oh yeah, they do. And I keep forgetting. Oh, you've been around. Yeah, I've been around for 20 years. So yeah,
Yeah.
hockey is definitely blown up here. But I don't want to keep dragging. But I'll tell you what, Columbus hockey's exploded down there because of the Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
Exploded.
So do you think Cleveland needs an NHL hockey team to really get it going
No.
in this area?
Jeez, Rob.
I mean, personally, because I love hockey, I would love an NHL team. I mean, the Monsters are great.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
taking nothing away from them.
Right.
AHL's it's a good quality hockey, but I don't know. Can Cleveland handle the Browns? The
Well, I mean,
Indians,
let's
Once
fix
LeBron- once LeBron's gone-
another one.
Let's fix the Browns first before we start adding
I
things.
don't know if we can handle.
Yeah.
We're football, big time.
Yeah.
High school football in Cleveland is king when it comes to high school sports. So maybe I don't know how big and popular high school football is in Columbus. I'm sure it's big because of the Buckeyes, but high school hockey is really big down there now.
Yeah.
It's huge, and it's getting bigger and bigger because of the Blue Jackets. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've had a lot of recent success lately. They've
Yeah,
had
they're making
they've
the
had recent
playoffs.
success. They had that huge winning streak last year.
They're doing well this year, too.
Whenever your major market team succeeds that much, I mean, I think it's just a natural draw for players to say, all right, this is awesome seeing what the Blue Jackets are doing. Well, how can I play?
Yeah.
I want to be part of something like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
just to be fair, Joe Simon did correct me. It's actually 46% of all teams in all
we
hockey
were
teams
undershooting them.
playing. I
All right.
was. I knew it
Sorry,
started.
Joe.
I knew it had a 6 in it.
Joe's
why-
on his game,
That's why he's the numbers guy.
I know.
He
I'm
is
not
Joe's
the
a
numbers
sharp
guy,
guy.
Joe. I
He
just
is.
Oh, yeah.
vaguely remember things.
Any other thoughts for Eddie before we let him loose shortly?
No, you've been really great talking with us since we started really covering you guys. You know, we really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah.
You know, you personally, not
Thank
to
you.
take anything away from the other
Oh,
coaches, but
absolutely.
you've
Sure.
been with us since we've been starting with
Absolutely.
the
I've been
starting
here
with this.
since
So
you guys started, and it's great. And I promote you personally on social media, and
We appreciate
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
whatever, I try to get the word out. Again, I think it's great for our league. It's great for high school hockey in general.
it. Well, like you said, we hope you have a great year this year. I mean, it's still, you have a month left before Barron Cup.
Anything can happen.
That's
yeah,
right.
you gotta
Never know.
get your you gotta get Gordon, you gotta get Gordy back here.
Yeah.
You know, starting here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Saturday
a
the
good team.
20th.
They're tough. They're a tough team. And then we're done with Midview. We played them twice already. We split with them. And Rick Verlotti does a great job with Midview. He has for a few years now. And then Strongsville's tough. We get them one more time.
Yeah, your
And,
league overall. I mean,
Yeah.
Strongsville's 4-0-1 right now. North Olmsted 4-2 in the league. Midview at 3-2-1. Solon at 3-3, and then you're right there at 2-4.
Yeah.
In the league play. So I mean, you're still right there. I mean, anything can happen with a month left.
Ken Roosevelt too. It was a 4-2
Yeah.
win, but that was an empty netter.
Yeah.
And that came down to the wire, tied going in the third period. And it's wide open.
Yeah.
I think anything can happen. You got to remember, there's some eligibility coming up. There's
Yeah.
injuries,
Oh, yeah, a whole lot of
Whatever,
stuff.
whatever we can get
a lot
in.
of variables.
some grades. You never know.
Yeah,
You go play
yeah.
one of these teams. Hey, what happened in so? Finals. Okay.
Christmas break.
Yeah.
So anything can happen. So yeah, we're not out of the water at all.
Yeah, you're in the red division, the South division, and then in the North, you have Shaker Heights at 5-0, Rocky River 4-1, Menor 2-2, Kenston 2-3, 1-4 Hudson, and Western Reserve at 0-4.
Yeah, Menor, watch out for Menor. They're playing really good hockey right now. Paul Makito has done a great job with Menor. I think Menor's got one of the best goalies in our league for sure. And Hudson's tough. We played them. That was a tough game. Rocky River's tough and Shaker's tough. So the North is a battle right now. And Kenston is tough. And, that's the thing. We want to get in to anything. If we get in, anything can happen.
Exactly.
That's right.
If we got to play across or one of those North teams, it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you
Yeah.
coming
Yes,
on our
thank you so
show
much.
tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for making the trail from Cleveland Heights, right?
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
luck, and
Yep.
we'll keep an eye out and hopefully talk to you, making the Barron Cup.
Oh, that'd be great. That's
Yeah.
the plan.
That's head coach Eddie Babcock of the Cleveland Heights Tigers hockey program. I want to thank him for joining us. Guys, Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League talk. We're going to wind down
Yeah.
here the show. Again, we want to thank everyone for listening.
Absolutely.
Again, check out the GCHSHL.net is their website.
Fantastic
they're on
website.
Facebook. They're on Twitter. Shutout.com for high school hockey. Go to SportsOnTapPodcast.com for our podcast, for other information. Write all kinds of different stories, have pictures, photos, sometimes videos. On there, NEOSportsInsiders.com has all kinds of hockey information.
They're doing it. They're following games and things like that too on
Yeah,
Twitter
they
as
write-
well.
Yeah, they write all
Yes.
kinds of articles. We're on Twitter at SOT Podcast. We're on Facebook, so check us out. Let us know what you think. This show and others will be archived on our YouTube page. Give us a few days for that, and then that'll be up. But, guys, overall, a very successful, fun night of talking a little high school hockey.
Absolutely. Just a big thank you to the Twinsburg Tigers Hockey Club, head coach James DeRosa, senior Ryan DeRosa, and junior Hannah Zahowski. For the Orange Lions, head coach Brandon Wadowitz, and then, of course, the one and only
the wily
Eddie-
veteran.
the seasoned coach Eddie Babcock from the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Very, very good interviews, and make sure you guys are listening as we move on. we have Barron Cup coming up here in less than a month.
Yeah, 28 days.
I know we'll be all over that, and continue following the other outlets that Rob just mentioned here to find out if your team is if the team you support, or maybe you picked up on a team from listening to our podcasts, and see if they're going to make their push into the Barron Cup 1, 2, and 3. And even follow them throughout the state tournament. It's high school hockey is, as Joe Simon astutely pointed out, almost half of the teams
in the state
of Ohio reside in this league. So
that's crazy.
That's a mind-boggling statistic to think about. And we're lucky enough to be able to speak with some of the fine coaches from this league and help push it.
Yeah, I want to thank Joe Simon. Scheduling coaches to come on the show, sending us all kinds of information.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And it's been fun up here at Z's Cream and Bean in Hinckley, Ohio. It's 2706 Boston Road in Hinckley. Come on up, and all kinds of great treats up here with ice cream. Me and Sean shared a chocolate milkshake. I think, Ed, did you have a chocolate milkshake over there? He sure did. 3 chocolate milkshakes.
Wait, okay, thank you, because you and I didn't share.
No, we didn't share one. We each had our own.
We each had our own. It's not like we Lady and the Tramp did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's not go
let's
there.
Let's not go there again.
But they have all kinds of different ice cream. They also have chili soup, hot chocolate, coffee. They have all kinds.
Really good coffee.
A great staff. They're great to come up here. Wi-Fi. So if you want to get some things done, I know everybody needs to be on their phone.
I know.
They have the Wi-Fi signal here. So a great job out of Z's Cream and Bean. And guys, great job on the show.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right, want to thank everyone for listening. We're Sports on Tap. For Josh Jeffy, Ed Dick, Sean Duffy, I'm Rob Trotman signing off. Everyone have a great week, and we'll talk to you real soon. See ya. Thanks for listening to Sports on Tap. Make sure you visit our website at www.sportsontappodcast.com. We'd also like to thank our partners, NEO Sports Insiders, bringing you the best in Northeast Ohio sports coverage. Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League, home of the Barron Cup. Z's Cream and Bean, make life sweet, eat ice cream at Z's. RRT Productions, we shoot, we edit, you win, specializing in sports recruiting videos for all high school athletes.